Yeah, everybody is excited, and it's definitely something that is very highly anticipated. So I saw the other day with Alex Eala, that's been a talk, and which is understandable. There's some players coming from respective countries, like she's coming from Philippines, which is now a big deal. She's been the biggest ever, tennis player from that country, which is a big country, and there's big interest. Athletes, really. So it's great. It'd be great.
The moment Novak Djokovic decided to speak, the entire sports world stopped. Not because controversy is rare in tennis, but because Djokovic is not the kind of athlete who jumps into public drama lightly. This is a man who has built his career under unimaginable pressure, winning titles, breaking records, and facing down hostile crowds on the biggest stages in the sport. When someone like him finally says enough, people listen. And this time, his words were directed straight at one of the most powerful media figures in the world, Oprah Winfrey. But to understand why Djokovic stepped in, you have to understand the story behind the storm. The center of it all is a young tennis star who has been capturing the imagination of fans across the globe. Alex Eala. The Filipino prodigy has arrived at Indian Wells with massive momentum and even bigger expectations. Her rise has been nothing short of electrifying. For millions of Filipino fans, Eala represents more than just talent. She represents pride, possibility, and proof that greatness in tennis can come from anywhere in the world, and those fans showed up in force. Thousands traveled thousands of miles from the Philippines to the California desert just to watch her train, cheer her name, and support their champion before she even played her first match. It was one of the most emotional scenes the tournament had seen in years. A sea of flags, voices, and belief wrapped around a young athlete living her dream. That kind of passion is the heartbeat of sport. But according to reports circulating around the tennis world, controversy erupted when comments attributed to Oprah Winfrey were interpreted as racially insensitive toward Eala and the Filipino fans who came to support her. What should have been a celebration of a rising star suddenly turned into a firestorm of criticism and outrage online. That is when Djokovic stepped in, known for defending players and speaking out when he believes something crosses the line. The Serbian legend made it clear that disrespect toward athletes and their supporters has no place in tennis. For Djokovic, this was never just about headlines or celebrity clashes. It was about respect for a young star chasing her dream, for a passionate community standing behind her, and for the global spirit that makes tennis truly belong to everyone.
Paula Deen was used as sort of like a symbol, but I think lots of people use that word inappropriately all the time.
That was the moment Novak Djokovic decided silence was no longer an option. When the most dominant champion of his generation finally steps forward, the entire tennis world pays attention. During a recent press conference, Djokovic was asked about the controversial remarks linked to Oprah Winfrey. His response was calm, controlled, and incredibly precise, the kind of answer that carries more power than shouting ever could. He did not raise his voice. He did not show anger. And perhaps most telling of all, he never even mentioned Winfrey by name. Instead, Djokovic focused on the bigger picture. He addressed the comments themselves and made it clear that words like that hold absolutely no value in the world of tennis. According to him, they simply do not reflect the reality of the sport or the player being discussed. Djokovic then turned the spotlight where he believed it truly belonged, on Alex Eala. He described the Filipino star as one of the most exciting and highly anticipated players heading into Indian Wells, praising the momentum she has built and the impact she is already making on the global stage. For Djokovic, the issue was simple. Comments driven by negativity or misunderstanding cannot define a player who has earned her place through talent, hard work, and belief. And in his view, Eala's rise speaks far louder than any criticism ever could.
Everybody is excited, and it's definitely something that is very highly anticipated.
Then Novak Djokovic went even further. Speaking with the calm authority that has defined his career, Djokovic made it clear that people making remarks like these need to understand something very simple. Tennis is not their territory. It is not their arena to dominate with uninformed, racially charged opinions. And when someone uses the enormous power of their platform to tear down an athlete who has earned every inch of her success, they should fully expect to be challenged loudly, publicly, and without apology. That directness is exactly what the world has come to expect from Djokovic after decades at the very top of the sport. He has never been the type to soften uncomfortable truths just to keep the peace. When he believes something is wrong, he confronts it head-on, says what needs to be said, and then moves forward without hesitation. And perhaps the most powerful part of his statement was what he chose not to do. Throughout the entire press conference, Djokovic refused to even say the name of Oprah Winfrey out loud. That silence spoke volumes. In many ways, it was the sharpest message he could send. It suggested that when discussing the rise, talent, and future of Alex Eala, the commentary coming from Winfrey simply does not hold enough relevance to deserve acknowledgement. But the story does not end there. Attention quickly shifted to how Winfrey herself would respond to the backlash. Many observers expected a different approach. In situations like this, the typical response from a public figure is to pause, reflect on the damage their words may have caused, and offer a sincere apology, not only to Eala, but also to the passionate supporters who traveled from the Philippines to stand behind their champion, a community that suddenly felt targeted in a moment that should have been a celebration of their pride and presence in the sport.
Well, you see those fools on Twitter. Sometimes they say ridiculous things, but nobody in their right mind is going to do that to my face.
What many people expected next from Oprah Winfrey was simple accountability. In moments like this, public figures often pause, reflect, and acknowledge the harm their words may have caused. But that is not the path Winfrey chose. Instead, she responded with deflection. Winfrey insisted that the comments being criticized were normal. According to her, people use language like that all the time, and she argued there was nothing wrong with what she had said. There was no apology, no sign of remorse, and no acknowledgement of the pain many fans felt after hearing those remarks. For many observers, that reaction only intensified the backlash. Rather than stepping back, Winfrey pushed forward. She began responding directly to critics, firing back at fans online who expressed disappointment, and even challenging athletes who had spoken about the situation during press conferences. At one point, she made the remarkable claim that people criticizing her, including tennis legends, would never have the courage to say those things to her face. But that argument quickly unraveled, because when Novak Djokovic spoke out, he did not hide behind a social media post. He did not rely on anonymous commentary or vague messaging. He addressed the issue directly during a press conference, speaking openly and publicly with cameras rolling and reporters listening. His name, his reputation, and his legacy were attached to every word he said. That is the exact opposite of avoiding confrontation. In many ways, the moment revealed something deeper. By turning the controversy into a personal battle instead of acknowledging the concerns raised by fans and athletes, Winfrey shifted the conversation away from the real issue: respect for players and the communities that support them. And that is where the story returns to Alex Eala. Djokovic's defense of the young Filipino star did not come out of nowhere. His support for Eala has been building for some time. On several occasions, he has spoken about the remarkable impact she is having on tennis and the inspiration she represents for fans around the world. Djokovic has even described Eala as one of the most exciting talents ever to emerge from the Philippines. In his view, her rise on the global stage is not just about rankings or match results. It is about courage, resilience, and the refusal to allow anyone else to define your limits. He has repeatedly pointed out that Eala's journey, built through relentless training, sacrifice, and determination, has helped put Filipino tennis firmly on the international map. For countless young athletes watching back home, she represents proof that the biggest stages in the sport are not reserved for a single nation or a single background. And for Djokovic, that pride in one's heritage should be celebrated, not mocked or turned into a target. Importantly, he is not the only legend who sees something special in Eala. Another giant of the sport, Rafael Nadal, has also expressed admiration for her development and the energy she brings to the game. When athletes who have spent decades dominating tennis speak positively about a young player's future, the world tends to pay attention. Together, Djokovic and Nadal represent two of the most decorated champions the sport has ever seen. Between them, they have lifted dozens of Grand Slam trophies and faced the most intense competitive pressure imaginable. Their voices carry enormous weight because they have lived every level of the sport. So when they speak about Eala with respect and encouragement, it signals something powerful about the belief many within tennis have in her potential. Former world number one Kim Clijsters has also entered the conversation. offering a perspective shaped by her own extraordinary career. Clijsters understands better than most what it takes to survive and thrive in professional tennis, a world defined by relentless travel, brutal competition, and constant scrutiny. She spoke openly about the environment that helped shape Eala's development. According to Clijsters, the intensity of that competitive atmosphere demands incredible discipline and mental toughness every single day. Success at the highest level is never accidental. It is built through years of sacrifice and unwavering commitment. That dedication, she explained, is the real foundation behind Eala's recent surge on the global stage. But Clijsters also emphasized something equally important. Young stars, no matter how talented, still need protection. They need experienced voices within the sport to stand up when negativity threatens to overshadow the achievements they have worked so hard to earn. That idea echoes exactly what Djokovic has been saying, and he has not limited his support to words alone. During discussions around the sport's biggest events, including the Australian Open, Djokovic has advocated for the way emerging stars like Eala are treated on tour. He has urged organizers and the Women's Tennis Association to recognize the scale of her growing popularity and the passionate fan base she brings with her. That in practical terms, that means placing her matches on courts capable of holding the crowds eager to watch her play. It means creating an atmosphere that reflects the excitement surrounding her rise rather than limiting it. For Djokovic, recognizing talent also means respecting the communities that rally behind it. And through all of this noise, the most remarkable response has come from Eala herself. Rather than firing back at critics or fueling the controversy, she has handled the situation with striking composure. In a recent interview, Eala chose not to direct a single harsh word toward anyone involved in the dispute. Instead, she explained that she prefers to see the world through a positive lens, even when faced with criticism or negativity. She said she refuses to allow those moments to shape who she is or how she approaches her journey in the sport. For her, the focus remains on improvement, gratitude, and the opportunity to represent her country on tennis's biggest stages. That quiet strength may ultimately say more than any headline or argument ever could. Because while debates and controversies come and go, the story that truly matters is still being written on the court every time Alex Eala steps forward with a racket in her hand and the hopes of millions behind her.